So we're going to put the ball between the knees this morning and just lay down onto the floor and just feel your body grounded on the mat. So lots of things going on in the world, but we can forget them for the next hour. So just let your tailbone sink heavy into the floor and then walk your shoulders back up and away from your tailbone. So you're really opening out your back as long as you can into the mat. And we can use the ball to let the thighs soften and let the shoulders soften, and just really let the ball hold the legs there, so you don't have to do anything at all. You can just really melt into your position. And we're just going to take 5 deep breaths, thinking about relaxing the pelvic floor, relaxing the belly, and noticing where the breath moves within your body. So taking nice deep breath wide into the ribs, the back, the belly. Exhale, soften, and let it go. And again, breathing in wide into the back, the ribs, the belly. Exhale, soften, and let it go. We're going to do 3 more there. And as you're breathing, try and relax your inner thighs, your jaw, your collarbone, your shoulders, your hands. Breathing in wide into the ribs, the belly, the back. Exhale and let it go. One last one, really softening that pelvic floor, pelvis. Breathing in wide into the ribs, the belly, the back. And exhale and let it go. We're going to take the arms just a little bit wider from the body and let the backs of the arms melt into the floor. Keeping the back of the neck long. Think about a marble resting on your belly button. And we're going to roll that marble north. So we tilt the pelvis back, lengthening the lower back into the floor. And we're using our core to achieve that rather than pushing with the feet. And then we're going to take that marble from north all the way down to south by the pubic bone. So we tilt the pelvis gently away from the floor and just feel the body weight shifting. And then exhale, tailbone to pubic bone, engage your pelvic floor, use that connection to lengthen your lower back into the mat, roll your marble north, and then shifting forwards and south, releasing and relaxing. And we're going to do it with the pattern of our breath. So try and keep the tempo of the movement to track the speed of your breathing, to pace with the speed of your breathing. As you're moving forwards and backwards, notice any trembling in the thighs, relaxing the legs. Good boy. And then this time, as you bring your marble north, bring your lower back long into the floor and pause there. And then we're going to try and join up the compass. So we're at north and we want to tilt round and over onto east. One hip bone is heavier to the floor, one hip bone is lighter. And then we tip forwards, round and down towards south. And then we keep moving round in a circular motion and tip round and up towards west. Scooping the belly, lengthening the lower back, and then drawing that circle round and up towards north. And we're just going to do 3 more like that, round in a nice big circle, lengthening through the tail, releasing and stretching out the lower back, pacing it with the breathing. So we want to breathe, inhale for half a circle and exhale for half a circle. Using the weight of the belly, the pelvis, just to draw that circle into the floor, allowing the jaw to relax, the shoulders to relax, the back to relax. The next time you bring your marble round to north, you're going to take it back the other way. So reverse it round and release that lower back round the other way. Try and keep your head and your shoulders heavy so they're not pulling off the floor. Soften your thighs, your feet, your jaw. And just keep the movement nice and slow, nice and relaxed, pacing with your breathing. We'll finish one more here. And then bringing your marble all the way back to north. Just walk your feet towards your bottom, so your heels are lifted and your back is nicely nestled into the floor. And then we're going to bring both knees in towards the chest. Hold on to the tops of the shins and then just use the weight of your arms to massage that back a little bit deeper into the floor. So as you bring your circular motion, as you bring your knees around, just let your lower back, your pelvis settle and relax and soften into the floor. Have you had enough of being with me now? That's annoying. Let me let you go. Come on. And then reverse that back the other way. And just really feel the bones becoming heavier and noticing if they feel bunchy or clunky as you take that round. Such a nice, gentle massage this. It's really, really restorative, bringing fresh blood into the back of the pelvis, the lower back. And then slowly toe tap to the floor and pop your heels down. We're going to just check there's no pressure in the knees. Feet are parallel, knees are hip width apart, and we go into a basic bridge. So we're going to do it in waves this morning, working with the power of the breath. So we inhale, and as we exhale, tailbone to pubic bone. So we gather up front and back passage, make that internal connection. Lengthen the lower back, squeeze the buttocks, and just lift. So you're just hovering off the floor, and you start to feel a bit of work in your bum, in your hips, your legs. And then we lengthen all the way down, making a perfect and true imprint of the back into the floor. So we're going to do 4 or 5 more of those. Keep going at your own speed and really think about just hovering your bum off the floor. So you're really just transferring your weight to your heels, and then you're lengthening, scooping the belly, lengthening the lower back, bringing the tailbone down. Inhale to prepare, exhale, tailbone to pubic bone, scoop, squeeze, lift, get some activation in your buttocks, get them perky, and then make a perfect imprint of your back, really lengthening down equally on the left and right side, coming down on your tail. One more, scoop, squeeze, and lift, very nice, and then lengthen and lower. So just really want you to notice, let's do one more as I'm chatting, just really notice how that feels for you. Do you feel a bit tighter on the left or the right side? Are you having to work harder on the left or the right side? Can you feel your core muscles connecting as you're coming up and down? Now we're going to start to go a little bit higher. So think of it like a wave. With each one, we're just going to go a little bit higher. So just come up a little bit higher, and then lengthening down, scooping the belly, lengthening the collarbone, articulating the spine, integrating the pelvic floor in that. So exhale, tailbone to pubic bone, gather up front and back passage, lift, squeeze, come up, and then lengthening all the way down, mobilizing that lower back. Long collarbone, relaxed shoulders, and again, exhale. So starting to come a fraction more, just a couple of millimeters each and every one, working with your breathing. Really focus on the breath here. Really focus on the breath today. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Very nice. And inhale, lengthening all the way back down. Lovely. And again, and you can just feel when you've got the ball between your knees, you can get slightly different feedback, sensory feedback through your bridge. So you can come up now to the back of your bra strap, but no higher. That's where a Pilates bridge stops. Squeeze the bum and lengthen your kneecaps away. A bit more weight through your heels. We're going to take the arms up and over the head behind. And then lengthen the spine down again through the floor, lengthening, scooping the belly, opening the back of the ribs, teasing everything out, and bring the tail down last of all. Arms float back to the side. So let's do that again. Exhale, curl, squeeze and lift. Arms go up, back and over, reaching behind you. And then long ribs, long back of the ribs, scooping the belly, lengthening through the back of the spine, articulating down slowly and return the hands. Good work. Let's do one more there. Curl, squeeze and lift, resting on the back of the bra strap no higher, squeeze the bum. So we want a nice ski slope from the back of the ribs right the way to the back of the knees. Reach those arms, lengthen, and then feel that length maintained all the way through your bridge as you roll back down to the floor. And then return the arms. Let's do one more. It felt really good. Exhale, curl, squeeze and lift. Lengthening all the way back with those arms. Reach the arms long and then lengthening both sides of your body all the way down into the mat. Good work. And then release the arms. We're going to take the arms out to T-shape, palms face down, soften the shoulders, and then go into our knee drops. So we allow the knees to drop one way, and you've got the ball between your knees, so it will feel slightly different. Try and lengthen the hip bone back and away, soften the rib cage down and back. So you're lengthening between your hip and your shoulder, lengthen that out. And then think about that length between the hip and the knees. Try and roll the hip back and then lengthen the knee away. Exhale, now scoop the belly and draw down with the belly as you roll back to center. Other side. Inhale, drop, lengthening the waist. And then sending the hip bone down and back, reaching the top knee forwards and away. Soften the rib cage down. And then exhale, scoop the belly down and back, coming back to center. And two more each side we're going to do. So inhale, drop. And just let everything relax. Really switch off here. No muscles working. Exhale, scoop the belly down and back and draw back to center. Try not to let the shoulders and the arms pull away from the floor. Keep them heavy. And then exhale, scoop, very nice, down and back. So today's all about the parasympathetic nervous system, trying to calm the systems down, that rest, digest, relax system. Exhale, coming all the way back, whilst improving the function of the breath. Last one, knees down. And just like we would rock a baby or rock a small child, that rocking motion is really good for our central nervous system. And coming back to center. Very nice. Walking the feet towards you. Arms come back down by the hips. Let's go back into a bridge. This time as we squeeze the bum, lift the hips, we're going to roll, lift one arm up and over, and then roll the head away from that arm. So you're twisting the head away from the arm you've taken back. That's it. Now as we come back, we roll the head back to center, long spine, arm comes back. Other side. Exhale, roll the head, reach with the arm, lift the hips. And then lengthening all the way back down, scooping the belly and returning the arm. So when you move your head, think of your head like it's on a skewer. So you're only turning the head sideways. You're not able to lift or lower your chin. That will give you a much truer stretch for your neck. If you've got any movement patterns that are a little bit are not good habits, then this will help to even those out a little bit. So enjoy that nice movement. If you find the head movement causes any dizziness and you suffer with any vertigo or anything like that, just keep the head still as the arm moves. Really working through the body, just activating the glutes, lengthening the lower back. One more. Exhale and reach. And inhale and lower. Good work. And then remove the ball between the knees. And we're going to put the ball underneath the head. So if you don't have a ball, you could use a cushion or you can just work without. Try and have the ball so it's underneath the base of the skull and not connecting into the back of the neck so much. So there's a bit of space there. And then we're going to let the arms just rest down beside the body. They can go a little bit wider from the hips. Knees are staying hip width apart. And we're going to stretch out the back of the neck. So we inhale. And on the exhale, lengthen the back of the neck by dipping your chin slightly. Now on the next exhale, we're going to press down with the skull into the ball. Press down and then release. Inhale, lengthen the back of the neck, dip the chin. Exhale, press down with the back of the skull into the ball. Good work. If you have the ball too close, you might not feel enough stretch, so maybe just reposition the ball. I didn't probably have mine quite far enough away there. So again, dipping the chin, and then exhale, press down into the ball. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, dip the chin, and exhale, press down into the ball. Very nice. And then we're going to do that same thing, but to the side. So we roll the head and see if we can place the ear onto the ball as best we can without the shoulders peeling away from the floor. So we've got a nice long neck. Now we're going to press down with the side of the ear. Exhale, press down, and you'll feel a stretch up under the back of the opposite ear, possibly, and into the side of the neck. And then release. And then again, exhale, press down into the ball. And inhale, release. And it can feel like a compression of your head. Exhale, press down. It's a fascial pull that you're experiencing. And we'll do one more there. And we're just teasing everything out a little bit. Exhale and press down. It's often an area we hold a lot of tension. And then coming back to center, long neck. And then you might need to reposition a bit, just see how you feel. Let's do the other side. So I'm going to bring my ball in a little bit closer and then just roll across. Try not to let your shoulder pull away from the floor. So if you've turned your head left, think about melting your opposite shoulder down. Turn your head right, melt the opposite shoulder down. And then we exhale, press down with the ear into the ball. Inhale, soften and release. Exhale, press down with the ear into the ball. Keep that shoulder down and back. Inhale, soften and release. Exhale, press down with the ear into the ball. And soften and release. Last one. Exhale, press down with the ear into the ball. And soften and release. Bringing the head back to center. And then lengthening the back of the neck, taking the arms up, back and over, and just feel that stretch in the chest and shoulder. Circle the arms out through T-shape. We're going to do 3 here. Inhale, lift up, back and over. Sink the ribs. Try not to let the ribs flare and pop off the floor. Bringing the hands down about one more time. Inhale, lift. Take the arms back and over, sink the ribs, exhale and open. In fact, it feels so nice. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lift, sink those ribs, exhale and open. Last one, nice big long arms. Inhale, lift, exhale and open that chest, shoulder, arms, and then release. Good work. We're going to remove the ball from underneath the head and lay the head carefully down onto the mat, and hopefully we've created a little bit more length in the back of the neck. And then lift the pelvis and slip the ball underneath the lower back, underneath the back of the pelvis. Don't put it against your spine, make sure it's underneath the back of the pelvis. And then we're just going to rest there. So now we can really think about tailbone to pubic bone. So we're going to inhale. On the exhale, gather up front and back passage as if you're going to stop yourself from going to the loo, and then use that connection to tilt your pelvis and squash the ball with all your might, and then release. Inhale, and on the exhale, tailbone to pubic bone, and then squeeze and squash that ball with your core, and then release. And again, inhale, and on the exhale, tailbone to pubic bone, and squeeze and squash your ball. Lovely. And then release. And one more. Inhale. And on the exhale, tailbone to pubic bone, and squeeze and squash your ball. And we're going to keep the squash on the ball as we float one leg up to single shin lift. And then lower down with control. Keep that squash on the ball. Exhale. Float one leg up to single shin lift. And lower down with control. Good work. So what we're doing now is we're thinking about keeping that pelvic stability. So tailbone to pubic bone, hip bone to hip bone. Take the pressure out of your shoulders and arms and keep your core connected to keep your balance on the ball. If you're doing this without a ball, it's going to feel like it'll do the same job, but you don't have that instability underneath you. Keep thinking about squashing back into your ball. So can you feel your left and right hip bones drawing towards each other as if there's an imaginary thread? Can you feel your tailbone to pubic bone connecting and keeping that connection throughout this very simple movement? Last two, exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. Check you've got space at the back of your knee. Exhale and lift. And inhale and lower. Good work. So we're going to keep that going. Just release off for a second. Slide one leg forwards and then the other. And just feel the ball pressing against the back of the pelvis. Don't let it go into the small of your back. And feel that opening across the front of your pelvis now. Taking the arms wider to the side and just take a little lean with the pelvis left and right. Almost like you're trying to dip your hip towards the floor. And just feel that nice pull across the front of the pelvis. Just opening out the hips, lengthening the tummy. If it doesn't feel nice, just come back into the bent leg position. Good work. Last two. And last one. Excuse me. And then bringing your hips back to center. Walk one leg back in and then the other. Bring your hands back down beside your hips. And we're going to tailbone to pubic bone and squash that ball. So we've got our core connection. Now let's do opposite arm, opposite leg. So we exhale, lift, opposite arm, opposite leg. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. So keeping that heaviness in the belly, heaviness in the pelvis. And we're thinking about that stability for our core. So most of us will find that we've got one side which is a bit stronger, one side is a little bit lazy. So you want to really put your weight down through the side that's lazy to get that sensory feedback so you can feel the core connecting as you do your work. Let's just do a few more here. Exhale, lift, really gentle. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So now we're going to add the chest stretch. So we bring the opposite arm and leg up, turn the palm to face the center, and then open the arm away from the midline. Challenge your balance. Circle the hand down to the hip as the foot comes back to the floor. Exhale, lift. Palm faces to center. And then we open the arm out to T-shape. Feel that stretch in the chest and shoulder. And then bring the hand to the hip and the foot to the floor. Exhale, lift and open. Inhale, lower and close. Keep squashing your marble north. Keep tilting back into that ball. So our challenge is to try and avoid gripping with the opposite arm as we move the arm sideways. So as we exhale, lift up, we open out, and at that point we want to use our core to hold us on the ball, not tense the opposite shoulder. And then lower the arm, lower the leg. Exhale, lift. And open the arm. Don't roll in the direction of that moving arm. And then lower. Two more here. Exhale, lift. Open, keeping that connection on the ball. Inhale, lower. Last one. Exhale, open, softening the shoulders. And then open. And then release. Good work. We just lift the hips and remove the ball, lengthening the spine down into the mat, and just feel that lovely opening of the back as it comes down. And then we're going to roll over onto the side and just put the ball behind the back of your bra strap so that when you roll back, you're now propped up onto your ball. It wants to be kind of like between your shoulder blades, just around your bra strap area, something like that. Taking your hands into a cradle, so lace your fingers together, pop them behind the back of your head, and allow your thumbs to come down the side of your jaw so that you just feel like you've got a sort of hammock for your head to rest on. And then try, if you can, to really let your head go heavy so that your arms are holding your head up and your throat and neck muscles can soften as much as possible. And it's quite difficult to do that. So sometimes it's nice to kind of press your head back a bit just to get the muscles to relax. Try and think about keeping your elbows wide away from each other and drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. And then we're going to work on some extension here. So just lift your tail and walk your tail just a fraction further forward. So you've really got length between your ball and your tail. Now we inhale And we allow our body to tilt back over the ball, feeling that lovely stretch between the chest, the ribs, the bust. And then exhale, draw your belly heavy, roll your marble north, and bring yourself back up. So it's a nice gentle movement working with the breath. We inhale, roll back and open, elbows wide, feel that lovely stretch. Exhale, heavy belly, tailbone to pubic bone, and draw yourself back up. So we're not pulling on the head at any point. The head is supported, and we're just keeping the hands there to get that lovely stretch in the ribs, the diaphragm. Exhale, tailbone to pubic bone, and come back up. Let's do 5 or 6 more here. Inhale, lengthening back. Just feel your arms melting wider. Exhale, tailbone to pubic bone, and come back up. And again, inhale. Exhale. As we, no, God, I've gone wrong now. Inhale, reaching back, elbows wide. Feel that stretch under the ribs, chest, shoulder. Exhale, tailbone to pubic bone. Use that connection to draw you back up. But we can go back 3 more. Working with the pattern of your breathing and really noticing where you're holding on any tension. Perhaps you need to lean a bit to the left or to the right to try and increase the connection or increase the movement and the space in that area. We've got 2 more. It's working with your breathing. Softening, melting and lengthening. Last one. Heavy head, no pulling on the head. Exhale and come back up. Good work. And then if you want to, you can lengthen back as far as you can go and just let your lower back arch if it feels nice, and just really see if you can melt the crown of your head or your elbows towards the floor. It'll be different for everybody, so just go to a position that feels like a nice stretch for you. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths in this position, breathing in wide into the ribs, chest and shoulders. Exhale and become heavy on the ball. And 2 more. Try and breathe against resistance. Exhale. Allow your belly to soften. 1 more. And on the exhale, sinking heavier over your ball. Belly draws in heavy and we come back up. Just give yourself a moment. You might feel a bit giddy or a bit dizzy or a bit lightheaded, and then release your hands and come over onto your side. And we're going to come up into a mermaid stretch. So sitting onto your sit bones, bring 1 foot against the front of your thigh and tuck your other foot back out of the way. Hold your back ankle and pick up your ball. So we inhale, lift the ball up, and exhale, push that ball to the ceiling, really push. Now we inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to go over to the side and stretch it out, click, clunk, and then coming all the way back and pause here. Inhale, push up first, sit bones into the floor. Exhale, come over to the side. And then come back up 1 more time. Inhale, push up. Let's see if we can straighten those arms. Exhale and come over to the side. We're going to stay here for a second. Roll forward. So you're looking back at your foot and you're pushing your ball up and away. And then roll back towards the screen. We do that 2 more times. Roll, looking down and back towards your foot, pushing the ball away. And then roll back towards the screen. 1 more time. Roll gently, looking back towards your ankle, your foot, pushing the ball away. And then roll back towards the screen. And then release. Good work. Bring your arms in and just circle out through those shoulders. Very nice. Well done, everybody. Let's go over onto the other side. So take the legs across and over and bring your foot into the front of your thigh, tucking your other foot back out of the way. And incidentally, if you find sitting like this is too challenging, you can put a wedge underneath your hip and that will kind of hold you in the position. If it's too much pressure for your knees, take your feet either into a cross-leg position or a V-sit position. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So holding the foot. Whoops, don't drop the ball. Inhale, reach up, lengthen. Exhale and keep and maintain that space. And then we inhale, lengthen up. Exhale and over. Arm behind the ear. Try not to bring the arm in front of the face. And then inhale, coming up, press away. Exhale and coming over and into that side bend. Keep the arm back. Try not to let it fall in front of the face. And push that ball away. Inhale, push it up. Exhale, up and over, reaching, lengthening, opening. And then coming all the way back up. And this time we take it over, up. Exhale and hold it there. And then we're going to try and keep the arm straight. Roll from the waist, looking back towards your back foot, pushing that ball up and away. And then roll back out of that. And then again, exhale, push the ball, rotate, looking back towards the back foot, pushing that ball up and away. And then rotate back. We've got one more. Exhale, press and look back towards that foot. Reach it away. And then come back and release. Good work, well done. And then roll through those shoulders and relax it out. Good work. Unravel your legs. Take them forwards in front of you and just give them a little bump out on the floor. Lovely. So feet nice and wide now, and we're going to take the hands back behind so we're supported. Drop the knees to one side and just let the knees melt. So you might need your feet closer to you or further apart, just play with it, but don't let your bum leave the floor. And then roll back the other way. So unscrew the thigh bone into the hip socket. And then inhale and roll. And exhale and roll. Try and think about long collarbone as you're rolling. Don't collapse into the shoulders. That's it. And roll. Good. And roll. I'm just going to do a few more. Try and have your feet a little bit wider apart, Susan, if you can. And roll. Lovely. And roll. And then release. Good work. Very nice. Okay. So we're going to go over onto our hands and knees. Don't need the ball for a moment. So hands under shoulders and knees under hips. And we want to think about having a long spine. So don't slump into the shoulders and let your bum stick up and with the dipped back. Lengthen your lower back and try and move your body weight away from the floor so you're supported in your shoulders. We're then going to take one hand and rest the hand just behind the back of the ear. And we're going to take the elbow to elbow. Exhale, rotate. And lift to the sky. Elbow to elbow. Exhale, rotate and lift to the sky. So you're opening from your hip to your elbow. Exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Let's do one more here. Inhale and lower. Last one. Exhale and lift, opening that waist, and inhale and lower. Change sides. So taking the hand to the back of the ear and then elbow to elbow. Exhale and reach to the sky. Inhale and lower. Draw the shoulder away from the ear. Try and move from your waist and your ribs rather than just turning your head. You're getting that little squeeze. And then open it out. And a little squeeze. And exhale, open it out. Very nice. Let's just do two more. Exhale, open. And last one. And exhale. And open. And then release. Just sitting back towards your heels. Be careful of your knees here. Taking your arms forwards as far as they will go. Reach and splay the fingers. And then bring your eye gaze down to the floor. And just let your head rest. If your neck doesn't like this position, put something under your forehead to support it. If you don't have anything to hand, you could just bring one hand in, make a fist, and put your head on that. So lengthening out. And we're going to try and breathe into the front of the shoulder and armpits here. So we need to soften the belly and pelvic floor. And we're going to breathe wide into the armpits, allowing the belly to soften, the pelvic floor to relax. Exhale. And again, breathing in wide into the armpits, relaxing the pelvic floor and the belly. Exhale, feeling that space that your breath is creating through your spine, your back, your ribs. One more. Exhale. Good work. We're going to stay here and do some box breathing. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 4, and then release the breath for a count of 4, and then hold the breath out for a count of 4. And I'd like you to focus your breathing against anywhere you find resistance in your body. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do 4 more like that. So please count in your own head so I can join in with you. Count for 4. Hold. Release. And hold. Again, breathe in. Hold. Release. And hold. Again, breathe in. Hold. Release. And hold. Last time, breathe in. And hold. Release. And hold. And then slowly just take your breathing back to normal and bring yourself all the way back up. Good work. We're going to bring ourselves into a seated position, and I want you to be nice and comfortable for this. So maybe take a ball or cushion, put it under your tail, and we're going to sit down into our cross-leg position. So once you're there, just find something that works for you. If you need to sit on your cushion or wedge it under your tail or put it under your knees, just find somewhere that you can relax. And we're going to take one hand and place it into the heart space, so just in between the bust, and with the other hand and rest it on the roundness of your belly. Relax your shoulders and lengthen through the crown of your head. And just see if you can relax the pelvic floor. Just if you want to close your eyes maybe, and just see if you're gripping in your pelvic floor. If you are gripping because you're not comfortable, then find a seated position that is comfortable. Maybe you want cushions under your knees. Maybe you want to, if you find it really difficult to relax, you might want to lay on your back and just bring your knees into a bent leg position. So hand to heart space and hand on belly. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath into both hands, thinking about creating space in the body. Exhale, let it go. So let's breathe in through the nose as we breathe into both hands. Exhale and let it go. 2 more like that. Nice deep breaths into both hands. Relax the shoulders. Exhale, let it go. 1 more here. Relax those legs. Exhale, let it go. And just notice how easy that was for you to breathe into those hands, into those spaces. Now we're going to take the hands onto the rib cage. Tuck your thumbs behind you and just cup the sides of your ribs if you can. If it causes any problems in your shoulders, you could use a band and wrap around your rib cage and just hold. You basically want to create some resistance. So we're going to think of our ribs like a pair of curtains, and we're going to inhale, see if we can open the curtains, and then exhale and allow the curtains to close. And we're going to do that with the power of our breath. So soften your shoulders, sit tall through the crown of the head, and really melt your shoulders down away from your ears. So we're going to put a little bit of pressure with the hands so that we can feel something to breathe against. So relax the belly, inhale wide into the hands. Exhale, feel the curtains close. Keep that going. So as you breathe in, you're going to open the curtains with your breath, feel the ribs moving sideways, sideways, sideways. And then exhale, feel them softening back down. Good. Keep that going and really notice whether the breath's coming up into your shoulders. Can you relax your shoulders more? If you find this really challenging, lay down on your back and do it from there. Or you could just find any seated position that's comfortable, even if it's on the chair. Soften your belly. Good work. And I just want you to notice as you're breathing, does it feel like you're breathing against tension? Do you feel kind of pulling and tugging up under the chest, up into the throat maybe under the backs of your shoulders? Just notice where your breathing movements are causing tension. So is there something a bit locked down somewhere else in your body that's restricting the freedom of your diaphragm? So really thinking about softening the belly, softening the pelvic floor. Just a couple more here. Exhale, taking that breath to wherever you feel it's more challenging to breathe. Last one. And then release. Good work, well done. So let's now find the groove in the collarbone and then take the fingertips either side of the groove. So you just want to have your fingers, just dig them in a little bit below the bone. And we're going to dip the chin down and press in with the fingertips. So we've trapped the soft tissues of the skin and the soft tissues beneath with the fingertips, and then just pull down a little bit with your fingertips, not hard, but just enough so that it feels like it's locked in place. On the exhale, we lift the chin and just pull the chin away from those fingertips and feel the skin sliding and stretching underneath your fingers. And then we do that again. Dip the chin down, press in with your fingertips and hold. Exhale, and then lift the chin, slide and drag your fingertips down. And you can make a silly gurning face at the top if you want to and kind of push your chin towards the ceiling. We're going to do it 3 more times. Lock down, exhale, and press, lift. Wiggle that jaw around and then release. 2 more times. Inhale, and on the exhale, press, lift. and then release. And one more time. Inhale, lock and hold. Exhale, and then press, lift, and release. And then bring the head back to center. Good work, well done. So taking both hands to one side, so find the groove and then take both hands to one side. We're going to look down towards the hands. We do exactly the same thing, but we're going to look up and away on the diagonal. And we'll do that four more times. Inhale, drop. Exhale, draw the fingers down and look up and away on the diagonal. And you can be as firm about this as you choose. You can lift that chin as high as you choose. You can wiggle your chin around in the sky if you choose. One more. And release. Taking the hands to the other side. So find the groove, take your fingers to just below the collarbone, look down towards your fingers, and then exhale and draw down with your fingers. Let the skin slide as you come up and look away. And then coming back down, exhale and coming up, and then stick your chin out, give it a wiggle. I find it really helpful to move my jaw left and right, so just experiment with what feels nice for you. Exhale. And exhale. And then release. Hands on your thighs and just drop your shoulders away from your ears and lengthen from the nape of the neck to the crown of the head. So you're just releasing the neck from those extensions. And then bring the head back one more time. Roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale and bring the head forwards as the shoulders draw down away from the ears. And come back to center. One more time. Roll the shoulders back and down. And then exhale and bring the crown of the head forwards as the shoulders melt down and away from the ears. Good work. Very nice. Okay, so coming back into your kneeling position, and then let's go into our rotation again. So we're going to take the hands under shoulders, knees under hips. This time, let's go a little bit deeper into that rotation. So we're going to slide the back of the hand through as if we're threading a needle. Reach all the way through, bringing your shoulder towards the floor, your ear towards the floor. So you may or you may not get towards the floor, that doesn't matter, but you want to reach the arm as far as you can. And then you're going to breathe into the back of your shoulder blade. So try and let your belly relax. Now breathe into the back of your shoulder. On the exhale, coming all the way up and reach to the sky. We'll do two more here. So sliding the hand all the way through, reach as far as you can, and allow the ear, the shoulder to melt towards the floor if it will. Doesn't matter if it doesn't. And then we're going to breathe into the back of the shoulder. So breathe against the resistance. Exhale, coming all the way back up. We'll do that one more time. So sliding the back of the hand all the way through before the shoulder and ear come down to the floor. Sun's very bright in my garden today. And then breathe into the back of the resistance of the shoulder. Exhale, coming all the way up and through. And then replace the hand, we'll have a go on the other side. So sliding the hand all the way through, reach as far as you can go, rotate, 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 shoulder and ear come towards the floor. And then we're going to breathe into the back of that shoulder. Exhale, coming all the way up and through. Very nice, well done. And again, sliding the back of the hand all the way through, reach, 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 reach. Breathing into the back of the shoulder. Exhale, coming all the way through. I've kind of lost count. I think we've got one more. And then bringing the hand all the way through. Reach, 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 reach. Breathing into the back of that shoulder. Exhale, and coming all the way through and open. Very nice, and then release. Just sit back into your heels, walking your fingertips forwards as far as they'll go, and then lengthen all the way down into your child pose. And just see how that feels. Is it giving you any more space? Has it eased out your shoulders? Has it allowed you to lengthen those arms? Relax your belly, and we'll take 2 deep breaths here, wide into the armpits, just as we did before. Exhale, and one more. And then walking your hands all the way back and just come back into kneeling. Excuse me. Well done, good work. All right, just sitting back onto your heels, we're going to use the ball. So if you can't sit onto your heels, you could sit into torn knees, not going to work quite so well. Probably stay down if you can, or sit down onto cross legs perhaps. And then we're going to take the arms up above the head, and we're going to drop the shoulders and then push and drop and push and drop and push. And I want you to keep that going, and imagine your diaphragm sitting under here and it's going up and down, up and down. That's what I want you to think about. So it's as if you're trying to create space for that diaphragm, and then drop the shoulders. Space and drop, space and drop, push and drop, push and drop. And then we're going to push and take a slight lean and come back to center and drop, and push and slight lean and back to center and drop. Exhale, push and lean. Inhale, back to center and drop. Exhale, push and slight lean. Inhale and drop. 2 more. Exhale, push and lean. Back to center and drop. Last one. Push and lean and back to center and drop, and then release your arms. Good work. Roll through your shoulders, just give everything a little roll out. Lovely. Okay, so let's finish on our back, please. So just coming down onto the floor. And just really notice the length between the back of your head and your tail. Become aware of the connections with your body and the floor. So softening those shoulders, lengthening that collarbone, softening the pelvic floor, the belly, the thighs. And just breathe. Bringing the knees into the chest. And then lift your heels into the sky. See if you can take hold of your feet. If you can't, don't worry. Just take hold of your knees or your trousers or your socks. And we're going to just allow the knees to separate and move towards the armpits. So it's like a happy baby. So just allowing the weight of your arms to draw your knees towards the floor. We're not pulling. We're just allowing the weight of the arms hanging on the feet. Or the trousers, or wherever you've got hold of. And then see if you can just relax your pelvic floor here. Lengthen your tailbone. So if you're a pelvic floor gripper, that affects your breathing. So you want to relax and soften your pelvic floor. And just let your tailbone lengthen down the mat. Let your knees become heavier. Let your inner thighs soften. Let your hips open. And we're going to spend the last 4 breaths breathing into the pelvic floor, which sounds a bit strange. We're not straining and bearing down. We're just filling the breath and allowing that breath to touch the pelvic floor. So let's see if we can do that. Close the eyes. And then when you're ready, breathe in. Feel that breath moving into the pelvic floor. If you really don't like your legs in this position, you can put your feet back down on the floor, bent leg position, breathing into the pelvic floor. Knees becoming heavier, hips melting open. Last one. And then use your hands to guide your feet back down. Bring your knees together. One foot down onto the floor and then the other. And just take a full body stretch. Reach the legs long. Breathe in, stretching from top to toe. Breathe out and just flop. Good work, well done. We're going to lay over onto the side. So just bringing yourself over onto your side, coming up from the floor. And then tucking your toes, excuse me, underneath you. Good work. Breathe in, lift the arms, breathe out and open, and then scoop the belly round the back like you're hugging a beach ball. And then open into a starfish. I'll turn sideways so you can see. So scoop the belly round the back, hug a beach ball, and then open like a starfish. One more time, scoop the belly round the back and open like a starfish. And then release. Hands come down, rock back onto the balls of your feet. And then we're going to come up any way you need to, but if you can, we're going to exhale, press the heels into the floor, eyes towards the thighs, and just feel that nice length in the backs of your hamstrings. If your legs don't go straight, keep them bent, that's fine, but make sure your neck is relaxed, eyes to thighs. Hands to hips, and we exhale, coming all the way back up. You come up to standing. I'm going to come down here for the camera. Inhale, lift. Exhale and open. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale and open. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. And roll through your shoulders. I hope you enjoyed that. It was a stretchy, relaxy one for the end of the week.